Let's discover 10 incredible anime series that you can watch on the Crunchyroll platform, featuring both popular and underrated anime from various genres. Let's get started! Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Neue. We start with this first title of one of the most acclaimed anime series by critics and the general public, related to science fiction and space travel. It's Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Neue. Thousands of years have passed, and humanity has traveled into space across the Milky Way. Humans are divided into two groups with two different forms of government. On one side is the autocracy of the Galactic Empire, and on the other is the democracy of the Free Planets Alliance. Both factions have been at war for 150 years, leading to countless battles and the deaths of millions of people, creating chaos wherever humans go. Crunchyroll presents this new adaptation brought by Production IG in 4 seasons to date, totaling 58 episodes so far. It's a work that Gundam Universe enthusiasts will surely love because it contains that political touch with incredibly well-developed characters, full of drama, action, mystery, and musical themes that will keep you hooked from the first episode. Sonny Boy. Undoubtedly an incredible anime, complex, which rescues many elements from the narrative of the late Satoshi Kon, and will make you feel as if you were inside the stories of Paprika or Inception. And without a doubt, it's an anime that's not for everyone. The story begins on a normal day during summer vacation, as we meet a school and its 36 students who, due to a strange phenomenon, begin to drift into another dimension. Once there, many of the students begin to develop supernatural powers. Initially, the school is surrounded by darkness, but their world soon changes, and as they progress, they discover that their new realities are subject to certain rules. It took a hot minute to classify it, but Sonny Boy is technically an isekai. However, it's not your typical traditional fantasy isekai thanks to Kami-sama. It's more of a mysterious, enigmatic isekai, full of metaphors and existential anecdotes that will blow your mind with a bunch of questions. Plus, the animation is exquisite. The anime consists of 12 episodes aired in 2021, produced by the animation studio Madhouse. Vivy, Fluorite Song. It's an anime that we could call a masterpiece. What I liked, its soundtrack, the vibrant color palette, the spectacular script, the chemistry of each character is spectacular, and each character is in their place and empathizes with them. The voices of the seiyus are magnificent and the ending is superb. What I didn't like. I don't think there will be a second season. It's really hard to say what I didn't like about such a spectacular anime as Vivy, but I could say that it might be cliché in terms of not being innovative to talk about time travel. The lesson that Vivy leaves us is that it shows us that even an AI can value human life more than humans themselves and that we must learn from it. Another lesson is that you can make others happy with something as simple as singing a song. Fire Force. People ending up exploding in flames. This is the premise presented to us in this series, which is not far from reality, given that there is a strange phenomenon called spontaneous combustion that causes the human body to rise to incalculable temperatures, consuming everything in its path without leaving a trace. The anime talks about this strange phenomenon that has evolved to a generation that has mastery over this ability, divided between a faction that prevents this effect and the faction of those who create chaos. Here we meet a young man who wants to join the special firefighter brigade called Shinra, to deal with situations related to infernals, a name given to those who suffer spontaneous combustion and lose their humanity until they are consumed. Moreover, the anime has an incredible soundtrack full of great visual details, and the anime is somehow connected to the Soul Eater universe, so we could say it's a prequel to the author's most famous work. The anime can be found on the Crunchyroll platform in both the original language and its respective dubs. ID Invaded. Psychoanalysis, the study of dreams, or the study of the most perverse minds in society have always had a great space in multiple fictional formats. Perhaps it's because of that attraction to the depths of evil, that seduction that invites us to dive in and learn from the most misunderstood and twisted minds. A strange individual who works for a crime investigation body decrypts enigmas from a system that functions as a collective consciousness, with data from serial killers and people, to try to catch criminals from the subconscious. Here we see distorted universes from the perspective of each individual, seeing different realities, something that can remind us of Paprika, Psycho Pass, and even Christopher Nolan's Inception. Yes, an anime that addresses police and crime themes but from a totally different perspective than we are used to. The work seeks to create a Machiavellian puzzle that deals with the criminal human psyche, with despairing tones. ID. Invaded seeks to make tangible that unbridled repression, those disturbing instincts, and the sadistic and twisted vision of the serial killer. ID. Invaded seeks to reflect what is broken, what is fragmented in the criminal human mind through a unique and distinctive canvas for each of the cases it deals with. Because the psyche of each killer becomes a world of its own. Small cosmos with mechanisms and operations of their own and different from each other, but always with something in common. Among their architecture lies the key to identifying the artisan of it. If you enjoy the psychological thriller genre loaded with many puzzles, this fantastic work cannot be overlooked in your repertoire. The anime is already available on the Crunchyroll platform with its respective dubs. Arknights. We come across an anime that may start somewhat confusingly with the awakening of a subject called Doctor. A person who has no memory of his life is supported by a group of people who come from a city called Rhodes and try to escape from a group of terrorists called Reunion. The world as they know it is in chaos due to a virus called oropathy that causes death to its carrier, but at the same time gives them superhuman magical abilities. Its main source of contagion is unknown. Those who suffer from it were isolated from the world and are in constant conflict. The group led by Amiya will take Doctor safely to their city in the hope that he will find a cure for the virus. The series is in a cinematic format 235.1 with an animation budget that can be noted to be above the average of animated projects, with a palette of colors and a choice of angles and a cinematic language that turns it into an apocalyptic dramatic series full of action and characters that we will gradually discover and get to know the entire universe that surrounds them. A series undoubtedly worth watching based on the mobile video game of the same name. Kekkai Sensen. Kekkai Sensen revolves around the organization Libra, which fights against crime in the apocalyptic city of Hellsalem's Lot, formerly known as New York City. Hellsalem's Lot was born when a portal to the underworld was opened, bringing with it various creatures from another world. To prevent the catastrophe from spreading, several people known as summoners raised a large barrier that covered all of New York, thus preventing the catastrophe from spreading throughout the world. This is where young Leonardo Watch comes in, who, seeking to cure his sister's blindness, arrives in the city and ends up becoming part of Libra. The animation is impeccable and fantastic, in addition to the artistic section, with which the universe of the city is represented. It is taken care of by making the city look like something gigantic and alive, with people always in motion and events on every corner, which gives an incredible atmosphere to the entire narration, wild and unrestrained. The anime not only has incredible effects and impressive battles, especially if you love science fiction and incredible explosions, the soundtrack is also impressive. Kanata no Astra. The suspense and tension in this anime transport you to everything related to one of the fears that affects the existence of the human being: space. Set in 2061, cared high school students embark on planet camp, but when Group B5 arrives at the camp, a light sphere envelops 9 members in space and transports them 5,012 light years away. Now the young people are left with an unmanned spaceship trying to manage their resources and trying to return home by piloting a ship known as the Astra. And as I mentioned at the beginning, one of the main points of interest of this anime is that it has a plot full of tension and suspense, where the main protagonist is the unknown. Something completely different from what we are used to, and that undoubtedly goes beyond the cliches to which we are accustomed. With great photography and arts, and also with scenes of great budget with changes in its cinematography. Paranoia Agent. Shonen Bat is an assailant who seeks victims at random with a golden bat. While the number of victims increases, 2 detectives seek to catch this bandit, but what is more interesting is that they seek to understand him. While paranoia spreads among the city's inhabitants, who are already beginning to create rumors that reach both children and adults. This masterpiece by the late Satoshi Kon is his last work in animation for TV done by the author. It shows us several stories of affected victims in different ways, but that maintain the same common thread, and that is that the victims somehow end up being emotionally unstable people. Others lost in a world created by their heads, others with personality disorders, and even with psychopathy problems. The narrative touches on important topics in society such as bitterness, dissatisfaction, existentialism, especially rumor as the basis of legends and information in a consumerist city. It serves as introspection to realize how technology and even human behavior have been negatively influenced by advances in society. Simply a work that you cannot miss, full of mystery, investigation, and a constant face of madness and psychoanalysis of the personality of the being. If you are a fan of Perfect Blue or Paprika, you can't miss this work by Kondal's Demon Slayer. And to finish, I couldn't leave out the incredible work of Kimetsu no Yaiba, where we can enjoy the anime on Crunchyroll in both the original language and its respective dubs, including the Mugen Train movie. Tanjiro is a boy who loses his entire family to demons, Only his little sister survives, who ends up becoming a demon. But for some reason her human will causes her to maintain her humanity. So Tanjiro embarks on a journey to become a demon hunter and find a cure to return his sister to normal by facing unimaginable creatures with the fire will inherited from his family. Needless to say, it is a visually impressive work and one of the best animated works from the Ufotable studio to date. In this way, we come to the end. Greetings to our sponsors on Patreon, which you can see on the screen. Thank you for supporting the channel. Follow us on our social networks. Activate the notification bell to receive a notice of each of our videos. I'm Andres Benitez, and I'll see you in the next video.